Hi, it's Jim from Hidden Depths Coaching. Monday clip today. I thought I'd briefly talk about giving advice after the event. You know, and people mean well, but that is probably the biggest thing that holds people back more than anything in this life. It is discouragement, and that's what I'm saying. You may mean well by stating the obvious, but when something happens to someone, when you spend your time telling them what you would have done and how you would have handled it and how you can't believe how they never noticed that and how could you fall for that again, you know, just imagine what that's going to do for their motivation to get better, right? And I love this saying, right? And this saying's yesterday ended last night, and it did. And it's done, right? And I often say, you know, you wouldn't ask a plumber to wire your house. So, you know, why do we take advice from people that are not actually living it themselves, they're not actually doing it themselves? And that's what I'm saying. It's very easy to turn around and say, after an event, you would have done something different. But life isn't black and white. When you're in it, you get caught out. And we all get caught out, and that's just a part of being fucking human, you know, it happens, right? So what I'm trying to say to you is, if anybody is in a state where they're trying to get better, if you feel as if you're helping them by highlighting all the areas that they messed up, you're only going to hold them back, right? And you know, the first thing you want to do, if this is you yourself, or you know, you're helping somebody that's in a bit of a jam, they're at a bit where, you know, they've came to you and said, you know, I've totally fucked up. And the first thing that I do is, well, we can't change it. And you've got to let people know that. You've got to let them know it can't be changed. And I talk about grief and regret being the same energy field, right? So they give off the same energy. And the reason they give off the same energy is when somebody dies, you can't bring them back. And when events happen, you can't change it. All you can do is change the way you look at it. And the best way to start looking at that better is getting the person to realise that, you know what, we are where we are. We are going to get through this, right? So if somebody's, as you say, just in a really bad bit in life, and you want to help them, reliving everything that they've done isn't going to help them, you know. You try and generalise it, try and make it smaller, and try and say things like, you know what, we've all been there, we've all fucked up, we've all done shit, we've all went for the wrong person, or believed the wrong person, or trusted the wrong person. We've all been in a jam, right? So, because they feel very isolated at this time. So if you can make them feel like, you know what, I'm not any different to anybody else, right? Then from this place, right, what you want to start doing after that is start trying to offer solutions moving forward, right? And the best way to get somebody empowered to move forward is, whatever's happened, get them to try and appreciate that they can't change it. Appreciate that, you know what, sometimes bad things happen in life to get you a point of change, to get you a point where you say, you know what, I'm going to make something different, I'm going to do something different in my life. Then what you want to do is, they've got a story going on, right? So this story about what happened, no matter what it is that got them to where they are, you want to try and change that story. And the way you can change that is by releasing any judgment or attachment to it. And that's what I'm saying, this general chat, like, you know what, we've all done it, we've all messed up. That then starts to let go of the judgment, starts to let go of the attachment side of it. And the more people do that, then they'll start to feel this pride coming back. You know, they're never going to accept it again. If you're, say, somebody that's been in an abusive relationship, right, and everybody will cast that judgment in the end, like, how did you allow that person to beat you up? Or how did you allow your relationship to get to that stage where you're screaming and shouting at each other? And the truth is, it kind of sneaks up. It starts with a wee insult here, and a wee bit of discouragement, and a wee bit of look what you're doing, and eventually somebody starts to feel like they can never do anything right. And then they get to a place where they're trying to really please people all the time. And that then, they actually think it's them that's at fault. until it gets to that bit where it's just so bad that they have to get out. So again, this is another thing where people state the obvious, you know, why did you allow it to get like that? Well, we all allow ourselves to get to places like that, and that's just the way it is. It's like, they say when you put a frog in water, and if you start boiling the water, well, the frog will get comfortable in the water until it gets to a point where it boils up and then dies. But if you take a frog and you put a frog into boiling water, it will just jump right out that water. So we're the frogs jumping out the water. So when people are at that bit, we've not seen how it heated up. We've not seen how it all came together. So we're jumping right into it and going, how the fuck would you put up with that? Well, that's the bit that's wrong. And life's no black and white. There's a lot of grey areas in life. And to be honest with you, maybe that's how what I do is going so well. Because when somebody tells me, no matter what they tell me, I don't judge it. Because you know what? I've been in plenty of jams myself, and when I've got out of the jams, I've said to myself, how the fuck did I let that happen? And it just, like the frog in the water, it just snakes up and snakes up. But I'll tell you what, once you get out of it, you ain't jumping in that water again. And this is where I want people to get to. If you can get to a place where you realise that you're not going to jump in that, you're not going to jump into that same situation again, then it's done, it's over. Yesterday ended last night. So, yeah, if you want to help end it, if you want to get people away from anxiety or dread or worry or, you know, feeling no good enough, reminding them of how they got there is really the worst thing that you can do. And I know maybe you mean well, but, you know, that just really messes people up. And it's like, you know, these camera phones, I'm just so glad they weren't about when I was like in my 20s and kicking about and doing stuff that, you know, we all do. Because, you know, people see their friend thrown up or feeling ill and they want to video it and post it on Facebook rather than help them. You know, and we need to get away from this culture. We need to get away from this culture of, you know, oh, this is the best way to help somebody, embarrass them. Well, it's not. Actually, help them is to understand that maybe maybe you've been in a jam like that yourself, or you know what, your jam might still have to come. So the best way to help people is show that side of empathy that you've been there. Try and generalise things to say, you know what, we're going to get it better, we can't change it, so let's move forward, let's get a plan, let's get a solution. And I've said before, you want to ask a plumber to rewire your house, so if you're seeking advice from somebody that's telling you to do stuff that they don't do themselves, maybe you shouldn't take that advice too seriously. Alright, listen, that's the message for today, so I hope you all have a great week, alright? And the workshop is next weekend, yeah, so it's Saturday and Sunday. I think there's 2 or 3 tickets left, so if you've been to anything and it's a wee last minute thing that you want to go, then yeah, come on board and enjoy the 2-day workshop on attraction. Alright, thanks and have a great day, bye.